Hello, I'm Elaine Smith, the Artistic Director of the Clamour Theatre Company. We're holding these creative conversations with playwrights, with actors, with directors, so that you can find out more about Clamour Theatre and about the artists who work with us. Welcome to this edition of a Clamour Creative Conversation. Today we're talking with Maggie Wilson, a playwright selected for our 5th Annual Playwrights Retreat, whose play From the Bath is going to be read on March 5th as part of Clay and Water 2023 at McCormick Hall in Penny Farms, Florida. Welcome, Maggie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So please introduce yourself. Tell our viewers a little bit about yourself. It can be anything you like, your bio, background, whatever you think we should know.
Yeah, so my name is Maggie Wilson. I live in Brooklyn. I'm originally from Cayucas, California, a very small town. I work in theater. I do theater marketing. I'm also a potter. I've gotten really into doing ceramics lately. And I write and sort of observe people and eavesdrop on conversations whenever possible.
Cool. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the play that you're bringing to the retreat, From the Bath. Try not to give away any spoilers, but tell us what we can learn about that today.
Yeah, so From the Bath, it's a mother-daughter play that's really close to my heart. These two characters, they move sort of 25 years. They grow up together. I don't think this gives anything away, but the mother is in the bath for the entire play. And I think, this is a piece that sort of like spilled out of me a few years ago. Maybe sort of like water spilling from the bath or something. And I wrote it sort of in a frenzy, and it's just really close to my heart. And I think that there's moments of intensity, but I also think there's a lot of humor and beauty in the way that mothers and daughters love each other and argue with each other and know what to say to sort of piss the other person off. So that's why I love this piece so much.
Great. Do you have anything in particular you're hoping to get out of the reading or out of the retreat as a whole?
Yeah, I think with this piece, I did a reading here in New York in 2021. And I learned a lot then, but I think with every sort of iteration and new cast members that come to it, it just sort of constantly is like growing. And I think especially with this retreat, like the opportunity, so I get to go first, which is really exciting. And then I get to actually have time to like intake the notes that I've received and the feedback that I've gotten. And I think that like as a playwright, that is so rare, because so often it's like we do the thing and then we go back to our day job, and there's sort of no creative room to breathe and to like listen to what is working. So that's why, I mean, I'm just so thankful for this opportunity to get to actually like make action on the play after, instead of like, okay, I'll come back to it in 6 months when I sort of have a moment to breathe.
Yeah, good. Okay, so now, other than maybe whatever the play you're working on now, it could be that one, but do you have a favorite play of your own?
Um, I think I have two. Well, I just finished one. I had been doing this sort of like 7-month residency with Playground, which is based in San Francisco. And I wrote this play about women at a power company and sort of like power dynamics around that, and like misogyny that women can sort of put on other women, and how the patriarchy is sort of always present. So I love that one, and I'm very proud of myself for finishing the draft. But I do think I wrote a blues musical with my friend Wayne, who's a blues musician. And we've been working on that. It's called Giacomo. And we've been working on it sort of on and off now for maybe 5 years. And that one I think is just so, it really tested me because I haven't written a book before for a musical. And so getting to like partner with that and learn, and I dream about seeing that on a lot of stages in the future.
Okay,
Crossing
good.
my fingers.
So, so neither of those two has been produced yet?
So Giacomo was a commission from a theater in California. So we were featured in a festival there. We had 3 performances. So that one's a little farther along in the production, but the other one is like so fresh. I finished it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's brand new for sure. So, okay, good. What are so tell me, are there can you tell me 3 favorite plays that you may have seen or read by other authors and what you like about them?
Yeah. So one of my favorites is, I don't know if you've read Jonah Adams' Gideon's Knot. That's a really fantastic two-hander. And I mean, as you now know, I love writing two-handers. From the Bath is a two-hander. So that play I just think is so complex and fantastic. I think I also really love An Octoroon by Brandon Jacobs Jenkins. When I was the marketing director at Chautauqua Theatre Company for 3 seasons, and they were producing that play, and it was sort of one of the reasons why I wanted to work there, because I wanted to do the marketing for that production. I wanted to be able to like talk to audiences about that piece. And then another one that I really like has to do with magical realism, which I think I love this one because I struggle with that in my own writing. But it's called The Paper Dreams of Harry Chin by Jessica Huang. And it's just sort of fantastic. And it also, it kind of gets into those like needy family dynamics that I love. And it's really beautiful how she ties in magic to it. And yeah, I'm jealous of that writing for sure.
Cool. I always say after, I'm like, okay, I'm adding things to my reading list. I'll be reading from now until past my date of death, with all these people recommending things, which is great. So is there a book that has been helpful to you in your development as a playwright?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of playwrights out there that really like read process books, and I am not that playwright right now. Maybe perhaps someday I will become that playwright. I think the one like The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner, I think for me it was such a like creative explosion when I read it. Just because of like the different points of views that are shared throughout. And I like think about that book all the time, and sort of how can I give my audiences and give people that are reading my work a different point of view when it comes to writing. So creatively, I really love that one. Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a process book. It can be anything, So good. So for our viewers, if you would like to know more about Maggie, you can look for her and her work on the New Play Exchange website at newplayexchange.org. And for more information on her, you can visit her website. If you'd like to attend the free reading of Maggie's play From the Bath on March 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern at McCormick Hall, you can make a reservation on Clamour's website, which is also the place to go for information on our other events. That's clamourtheater.org, and you can find us on Facebook as Clamour Theatre Company. We will post all of those URLs in the description below the video. And if you'd like to see more interviews like this one, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. And Maggie, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today and letting our audience get to know something about you. We're looking forward to the reading, and we are very glad you have been able to join us for Clay and Water 2023.